My name is actually Bruce, but because rap and all the crimes that I do, I need to remain obscure to the public. So, AllOne, I'm gonna perform some stuff on my new album, and maybe you'll like it, and maybe you won't. So, because of that song "Goodbye," I'm gonna play a song that I call "I'm homesick but needed to move out, all alone in the streets of this new town. On a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. I'm homesick but needed to move out, all alone in the streets of this new town. On a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. My roots, my home, my place. My roots, my home estate is blue as ever, though it's almost gray. A poet would claim it's a moping, complaining man whose bones would break when the weakest wind would blow its frame. Adjacent to the school we used to go and skate, or whenever it's cold we play with snowy canes. We're sinking to the slums, slow to slay. Something spellbinding experienced in them slower days, but oddly new field is starting to feel old and plain. After Jericho, my folks only waited 2 grades to no man's stray, mobile and stay tense down. 3 rooms just won't contain 6 now. Smithtown was unknown and strange. I was stubborn, seldom a social strain. Unapproachable, homesick for seldom, strolling slave to visit and sit with my kin since I felt solely safe. After I awoke and gained friends, sold insane flicks, returned in '08 to live with old neighbors in a low rate donated crib. Off the philanthropy and love of Greta and my homie Greg, that's family enough, and definitely I owe them thanks. After 2 years in my chosen quaint devoted base, I shed that shit for a higher calling to phone my brain. Off the Rolodex of notes I take in between working that fast food pass-through window and late night strolls that glow with brake lights, noses cloaked in fragrant, smoking spray cans as I gaze his Romer stain that Da Vinci coating glaze over the gross mundane. Chicken scratch on bricks with tats from toys who floated gain, but no grace. An era I mostly crave. I'm feeling pain, shaking, thinking feelings, but also growing pains. I know the same, nothing gold can stay. I felt this potent saintly quote retain the woeful dates, the ghost of greats like Poppy and Dan. Old souls were towed away. At last, it abated my shoulder pain. I took it to motivate and hit that blotched road that's way overdue for a coat of paint. Repair those potholes like graves, the pockmark its broken face, to go and make a show out of my boldest traits. With what I wrote on page printed, when I flow on stage spinning in hopes to change listeners and bestow the same wisdom. I'm homesick but needed to move out, all alone in the streets of this new town. On a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. I'm homesick but needed to move out, all alone in the streets of this new town. On a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. You might be able to relate to this. Now, to be honest and admit it, I'd rather pay homage than a visit to the stomping grounds I've lived in, as it's odd all of the differences be. Altering businesses and the faltering flimsy strips and the boarded up windows split from the mom and pop's withering. The nostalgia I get hit with as my child has reminisced, called it a hall with conviction, with all the horror considered when seeing hollowed-eyed filthy kids who are clawing to fill it fix, and the mauling of innocence shredded to shrivel bits of festering filaments. No belongings felt in the midst of this experience, just nauseousness from homesicknesses when taking stock of things. Altered on my old property, frustrated, feeling like a foreign freak. I talk on beats, recording these philosophies intensified, all with the oddest feeling of destiny to represent these times. With a legacy I intend to write, and songs to feed my obsolete friends with a sense of pride. Despite that, when I get to see them, it's never what I'd expect to find. Suddenly I get to bump into someone I haven't seen in 7 months. I spend a couple minutes catching up, some retrospective chuckles on how our friendship was, talk about what severed us, exchange cell numbers. It's never mentioned, but I knew he blew off my message once. We swear we changed our ways after we take our separate ones. Well, it's another 7 months and that phone is yet to buzz. I guess I should expect as much in these situations, it rarely ever does. So my sincerest respect and love to all of you who've kept in touch. I'm homesick but needed to move out, all alone in the streets of this new town. On a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. I'm homesick but needed to move out, all alone in the streets of this new town. On a road trip, try teaching it to crowds the things that I grew sprouted since leaving my roots grounds. Thank you. Thank you. I have